Hey, Patrick Jackson here, broadcasting from Medellin, Colombia. Before we get started on your webinar/podcast, do yourself a favor and click that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, and then click the notifications bell. That way we can help you in your journey to achieve all your learning Spanish goals. And if you'd like to attend a live Zoom webinar so that you can practice your Spanish in real time with our Spanish instructor, Paulina, to register for the live webinar, just go to learningspanishlikeCrazy.com/webinar. We have the live Zoom webinar twice a month on the first and the third Wednesday evening of every month. Y no te lo pierdas. Don't miss out. To register to attend our live Zoom webinar, go to learningspanishlikeCrazy.com/webinar. Empecemos ya. Let's get started now. Bienvenidos to the Learning Spanish Like Crazy webinar. I'm Patrick Jackson. I'm the host for tonight's webinar, and our Spanish instructor is Paulina. Paulina is from Medellin, Colombia, but right now I'm in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And tonight, Paulina is going to teach us how to conjugate Spanish ER verbs in the present tense. So Paulina is going to give us a brief lecture, and if you like, after she finishes her lecture, I can unmute your mic so you can answer her questions in Spanish. But before I turn the screen over to Paulina, please type in the Q&A and let me know if you're able to hear me by typing in yes, or in Spanish, sí. See any, or type in it. Okay. Okay, I see people are able to hear me. Okay, looks great. Okay. And before I turn the screen over to Paulina, let me know what city, state, or country you're watching this webinar from. Please type in whatever city, state, or country you're watching the webinar from in the Q&A. Okay, I see George is in Pareto, Colombia. Okay. James is in EU. Sam is in Idaho. Martin is watching from Mexico. James is in Estados Unidos. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the screen over to Paulina. Paulina, you got the screen.
Hola, ¿pueden escucharme? Can you hear me?
Yo sí.
Okay. Eh, bueno, como Patrick les dijo, yo soy Paulina y hoy les voy a enseñar cómo conjugar los verbos en presente que terminan en er. So, as Patrick said, my name is Paulina and I'm gonna teach you today how to conjugate the in present the verbs and in ER in Spanish. I'm gonna try to translate the explanation so you can understand better. Esta es la lista de verbos de algunos que vamos a usar el día de hoy para los ejemplos y los ejercicios que terminan en er. So this is the list of the verbs we are going to use in some exercises and some examples. They have the translation, aprender, aparecer, meter, ofender, arder, esconder, atrever, beber, barrer, deber, correr, creer, leer y vender. Entonces, ¿cómo vamos a conjugar cuando el verbo es regular y terminan en ER? Porque hay algunas excepciones. So, how we are going to conjugate the ER verbs that are regular, because there are some exceptions that we are not worried about it today. We are going to eliminate the ER of the verb, and we are going to change it for the letter depends of the pronoun. Entonces vamos a eliminar la letra ER del final del verbo, el ER, y lo vamos a cambiar por alguna letra según el pronombre. Entonces, yo lo vamos a cambiar por O, the pronoun I, we are going to change it for O. El pronombre tú lo vamos a cambiar por ES. The pronoun you, we are going to change it for ES. Para los pronombres él, ella y usted, vamos a cambiar el ER por una E. For the pronouns he, she, and you, we are going to change it for the letter E. Para nosotros y nosotras, cambiamos por hemos. For we are going to change it for hemos. Y para ustedes, ellos o ellas, vamos a cambiar el ER por EN. For you and they, we are going to change the ER for EN. Acá vemos un ejemplo con el verbo comer. There's an example with the verb eat. Entonces, yo como, I eat. Tú comes, you eat. Él, ella, usted come. He, she, you eat. Nosotros, nosotras comemos. We eat. Ustedes, ellos, ellas comen. You, they eat. Entonces podemos ver que ya no usamos el verbo en infinitivo, que es la E con la R, sino que lo cambiamos según el pronombre. So we can see we don't use anymore the infinitive form of the verb, that is ER, and we change it, depends of the pronoun. Otro ejemplo con el verbo romper, que también es un verbo regular. The verb is break, it's a regular verb. Yo rompo, I break. Tú rompes, you break. Él, ella, usted rompe. He, she, you break. Nosotros, nosotras rompemos. We break. Ustedes, ellos, ellas rompen. You, they break. Entonces, acá hay algunos ejemplos, unas frases completas. There are some sentences. They have the translation above the example. Mi amiga lee muchos libros en verano. My friend reads a lot of books in the summer. So we can see mi amiga is she. My friend is she. So we change the ER of leer and we change it just for E. Tú corres muy rápido. You run really fast. Nosotros aprendemos español los miércoles. We learn Spanish on Wednesdays. ¿Comes hamburguesa? Do you eat hamburger? Yo creo en los extraterrestres. I believe in aliens. Acá para recordar brevemente cuándo usar esta conjugación, cuándo usar el presente, lo usamos cuando estamos hablando de acciones que están pasando en el momento en el que estamos hablando. También lo hacemos para hábitos o rutinas o para dichos y refranes o leyes que no cambian con el tiempo. So a reminder of when we use the present tense, when we use this conjugation in a specific, is with actions that are happening in the moment we are speaking, we are talking. For habits, things we do every day, or for example, something we do every Saturday. In these cases, we use this conjugation too. And for sayings that we have in every language, because they are not affected by the time. Entonces ahora vamos a realizar algunos ejercicios. Si alguno quiere participar, levanta su mano. No sé si Patrick quiere dar alguna instrucción adicional.
Yes, if anyone wants to participate, just raise your hand using the interface. There's a feature to raise your hand on the Zoom interface. And when you raise your hand, I'll call on you.
Ok, so para estas dos primeras frases, la idea es completarlas con el verbo que tienen acá al lado. Just to complete these sentences, who wants to answer?
Okay, Nico raised. See Nico's hands raised.
María, solamente comida saludable, comer. María, comer solamente comida saludable, I guess.
En este caso, María es ella, María she. So we change the ER for an E. María come solamente comida saludable.
Oh, sí, sí. Sorry.
Don't worry. Do you want to try the second one?
We drink coffee every day. Nosotros bebemos café todos los días.
Muy bien, nosotros bebemos café todos los días. Con el pronombre nosotros usamos hemos. Gracias.
Okay, I'm
Who
gonna
wants
call
to
on
answer this?
Sam. Sam.
Yo, le, yo leo poesía, pero ella lee de historia o libros de ministerio y tú lees libros de historia. Yo leo poesía, pero ella lee libros de ministerio y tú lees libros de historia.
Muy bien, yo leo poesía, pero ella lee libros de misterio y tú lees libros de historia. Muy bien.
Anyone else? Well, the next exercise. Any volunteers? Okay. A couple hands went up and then a couple hands went back down. Okay. I see V. V.
Hola.
Hola.
Oh, let's see. Wait, let me fix the thing. Okay. ¿Tú también corres en la mañana?
Muy bien.
Mi,
¿Tú también corres en la mañana?
mi hijo, um, mi hijo cree en los fantasmas.
Muy bien. Mi hijo cree en los fantasmas. Correcto.
Gracias.
A ti.
James. I see James has his hand raised. James.
Okay. Ustedes aprenden español.
Muy bien. Ustedes aprenden español.
James, you can continue. Yeah,
Okay.
but we have enough for everyone.
Okay. Yo como muchas verduras. ¿Tú comes carne de cerdo?
Muy bien. Yo como muchas verduras y tú comes carne de cerdo.
Now we'll call on someone else. A couple hands went up, and then they lowered them almost immediately. Who wants to give it a try? Who haven't called on already? Don't be shy. The easiest way to learn Spanish is by making lots of mistakes. Any volunteers? Anyone who I haven't called on already wants to give it a try? Johnny. And for the
Hola.
next one, I'll call on Charisma.
¿Me escuchas?
Yes.
Ok. Yo hablo, tú hables, ella hable.
Muy bien. El verbo arder, que yo ardo,
Eh,
tú ardes, ella arde.
¿Y qué significa eso? To burn.
Burn. Sí,
Ok,
arder means burn.
gracias.
Now we'll call on Charisma.
Okay.
Charisma.
All right, I'm here. Las aves Comen varias veces al día.
Las aves comen varias veces al día, sí.
Okay. 13. Nosotros. Let me think. Nosotros comemos juntos todos los días.
Muy bien, nosotros comemos juntos todos los días.
Charisma, do you want to give this a try before I call on Johnny for the next one?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Ardemos. 15. Nosotros. Is that one also ardemos? And then ustedes. Arden.
Para el pronombre ellos usamos arden.
Arden. Okay.
Para nosotros y nosotras sí usamos ardemos, muy bien. Y ustedes también, arden. Muy bien.
Johnny?
Nos llaman llamadas en la noche. Tú,
Hola.
tú llamas muy grosero.
The verb is answer, responder.
Oh, así. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. No respondo llamadas en la noche. Tú respondes muy grosero y los
Sí.
niños responden al unísono. That's a new
Muy
word for
bien,
me.
no respondo llamadas en la noche, tú respondes muy grosero y los niños responden al unísono. Unísono, it's at the same time.
Unison. Okay.
Unison.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me call on someone else who I haven't called on yet. I'm seeing the same hands. Anyone wants to give it a try who hasn't tried already? If not, okay, a couple hands went up. Charlotte, and then next I'll call on George. Charlotte? Charlotte?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yo vendo juguetes.
Muy bien, yo vendo juguetes.
Mis hijos deben hacer la tarea.
Muy bien, mis hijos deben hacer la tarea.
Nosotros bebemos champaña.
Nosotros bebemos champaña, muy bien.
So now we'll call on George. George?
Disculpa, nosotros despertemos tarde después de la pijamada.
Nosotras despertamos tarde después de la pijamada.
George, you
want
can
to
give
answer
this one a
this?
try. George, you can give this one a try too.
Yo barro la casa.
Muy bien, yo barro la casa.
Who wants to give these three a try? Quite a few people who have already volunteered are raising their hands. I'd like to call on someone new. If not, I'll go back to some of the same. I think I called on, I don't think I called Johnny before. Johnny?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yo temo a los fantasmas. El gato siempre se esconde en el garaje. y tus palabras no me ofenden, right? Because palabras is plural.
Muy bien. Yo temo a los fantasmas, el gato siempre se esconde en el garaje y tus palabras no me ofenden. Muy bien.
Who wants to give this a try? Someone who have not called on already, if possible. Okay, so I'll call on Charlotte.
Again. Ellos meten, él mete, tú metes.
Muy bien. Ellos meten, él mete y tú metes.
Now I'll call on someone else. Johnny.
Lucía no prende el televisor en la noche y tu celular pones muy lento.
Con el mismo verbo
Pone.
prender.
Okay. Oh,
Lucía, sí,
I see a typo, so I said, yeah, okay.
don't worry. Lucía no prende el televisor en la noche y tu celular prende muy lento.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because it's referring to the cell phone, not the person, right?
Yeah.
Charisma.
Okay, 33. ¿Ustedes aprenden español? ¿Usted aprende a cocinar? Nosotros aprendemos a nadar.
Muy bien. Ustedes aprenden español, usted aprende a cocinar y nosotros aprendemos a nadar.
Next in line. Same people. Anyone who I haven't called on already wants to give it a try? Moni or Martin? I think I called on Martin. You sure I didn't call on Moni? If not, I'll call on the same people again. Okay. Sam?
Mi actriz favorita no aparece en la película.
Muy bien. Mi actriz favorita no aparece en la película.
You want to give the next ones a try as well?
Okay. Mis hijos no temen a las arañas. Yo creo que mi equipo va a ganar. No debes llegar tarde.
Muy bien. Mis hijos no temen a las arañas. Yo creo que mi equipo va a ganar y no debes llegar tarde. In Spanish, sometimes we don't use the pronoun like in the example number 39, and we know who are we talking because of the conjugation. Because the ending is es, we know that it's about you. The pronoun tú.
Tiempo para una pausa comercial. Damas y caballeros, time for a commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, just for watching our webinar/podcast, I have a special offer for you, and it's called Learn Conversational Spanish Like an MF. And I'm also going to tell you how to get it completely free. And if you're wondering if this Learning Spanish program is for you or not, then let me ask you some questions. Are you sick and tired of using apps that do not feature native Spanish speakers, but use machine learning and synthetic voices, which leave you with an awful sounding Spanish pronunciation and accent? Are you sick and tired of using apps that use synthetic voices that make it almost impossible for you to understand normal, everyday Spanish speakers? Do you want more than just an app that only gives you a badge that shows you use the app for days, weeks, or even years, but still can't speak Spanish well enough to hold a conversation with a 4-year-old Spanish speaker? If you're ready for a learning Spanish program that's going to give you what it takes to speak and understand conversational Spanish with complete confidence, and you want to get this program absolutely free, in the description of this video, you'll find a link to go to Audible or Amazon.com. You can get Learn Conversational Spanish like an MF completely free with a free trial to Audible. And I guarantee you, after using this program for 30 days, you'll find yourself speaking Spanish like an MF. And in case you're wondering, MF stands for Master of Fluency. And we've only used native Spanish speakers in this program so that you develop an authentic Latin American Spanish accent and pronunciation. And just in case you're a visual learner, we've also included a bonus video version of the program, which includes this own free mobile app. That's in addition to the audio version of the program that you'll get from Audible or Amazon.com. After you get your copy, make sure you install the free Audible mobile app to listen on your smartphone or tablet. Or if you prefer, you can listen on your laptop without using a mobile app. And if you've never heard of Learn Conversational Spanish like an MF, it's the #1 best-selling learning Spanish program on both Audible and Amazon.com. As you can see from the screenshot taken from Amazon.com, it's beating popular learning Spanish programs such as Pencil of Spanish. You can also click that same link in the description of this video and go to Audible or Amazon.com and see the success stories from hundreds and hundreds of Audible and Amazon customers and see what they have to say about Learn Conversational Spanish like an MF. Now back to our webinar. I'll call on V.
Yo, let me see, yo aprendo algo nuevo cada día.
Muy bien, yo aprendo algo nuevo cada día.
Why is it so small?
Do you want to transfer this one?
Okay. Wait, it's I can't see what the verb is.
The verb
Okay.
is vender.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. Okay. Mi padre vende helados.
Muy bien, mi padre vende helados.
El bosque arde en el verano.
Muy bien,
Los bosques arden en el verano.
muy bien. En singular, el bosque arde en el verano. En la siguiente oración ya es plural, entonces los bosques arden en el verano. Muy bien.
Gracias.
Okay, who wants to try the next 3? Still seeing the same hand. Oh, Moni. Moni?
Yes, thank you. I'll give it a try. Nosotros, Mateos, la leche a la nevera. I don't know
Nosotros
if I got it.
metemos la leche a la nevera. Bien.
¿En dónde se es this one's hard. ¿En dónde se escondes los murciélagos?
¿En
I
dónde se
don't know how
esconden los murciélagos? Sí.
esconden, okay. That's why I joined this class, because I'm not good with the verbs. Okay, invierno,
Don't worry, we are learning.
good. And invierno, let's see. Amanecer más tarde.
En invierno amanece más tarde.
Okay, amanece.
Bien. Do you want to try this one?
I already turned my, I can turn it back.
Okay.
Moni, do you want to give this one a try as well?
Yeah. So tú leer muchos libros para la universidad. Or
Tú lees,
lees, okay. I gotta
pronoun
practice.
tú, we are going to change the ER for ES.
Okay. Yes, for tú. Okay.
Yes.
Who wants to give this a try? Hopefully someone I haven't called on already. If not, I call on the same people again. Okay.
The verb is not showing here, but it's prometer.
Okay. I apologize for the background noise. I'm in an Airbnb and it sounds like a neighbor's hammering. And
We
it's
can't hear it. Yeah, we
very
can't hear
late
it.
here in Brazil. Okay, well that's good. Okay, who wants to give this a try? George? George?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Oh, okay. ¿Prometes tener un buen comportamiento mañana?
Muy bien. ¿Prometes tener un buen comportamiento mañana?
Well, George can do the next one as well. George, do you want to give the next one a try?
Sure. Por las mañana ella come huevos revoltos.
Por las
Tú,
mañanas ella come huevos revueltos. Muy bien.
tú creces muy rápido.
Ujú.
Ese conductor rompe la ley.
Muy bien. Tú creces muy rápido y ese conductor rompe la ley.
Okay, Charlotte? Charlotte? I'm trying to unmute your mic.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. No me atrevo a entrar al parque de diversiones.
Muy bien. No me atrevo a entrar al parque de diversiones. Do you want to answer this?
Oh, sí. Nosotros rompemos, ustedes rompen, yo rompo.
Muy bien. Nosotros rompemos, ustedes rompen, yo rompo. This is a question about when we use this conjugation in present we are learning today.
Okay, does anyone want to answer this?
B.
Muy bien. Refranes, acciones en presente y hábitos. In these three cases, actions in present, habits, and sayings, we use this conjugation.
Anyone wants to try? 58? I haven't called on already. I called on everyone here, but Moni can give it a try.
All right. El señor Barrero, la calle. Ustedes, ustedes bares, la sala.
Ustedes barren
bar-
la sala.
Okay, barren. And then tú baré. No. Right. Tú bares tu cuarto todos los lunes.
Muy bien. El señor barre la calle. Ustedes barren la sala y tú barres tu cuarto todos los días. Muy bien.
Okay, now we're going to open up the Q&A. So if you have any questions about conjugating Spanish ER verbs or conjugating Spanish verbs in the present tense in general, please type it in the Q&A and Paulina will answer your questions. Paulina, ¿puedes ver question and answer?
Sí.
Okay.
Okay. James asks, what is the difference between arder and quemar? Okay. They are similar, but quemar means more like a lot of fire, but arder, we can use it in the same cases as quemar, but we use it as well where there's not fire, like, ay, me arde la mano. I don't know how to explain really well the difference, but they are similar meanings. But quemar always means there is fire visible.
Okay. I'm going to answer a couple questions. I see people have several questions. Sam wants to know if we're going to have a schedule of all the different topics for future Zoom meetings. Well, we hadn't planned, but that seems like a great idea. So I think I'll discuss it with Paulina because it sounds like a great idea. And Nico said his chat is disabled. Well, you can type in the Q&A so I can see we can see your messages in Q&A. And we answered James's question. Johnny's wants to know, would you use poner to put la leche en la nevera?
Sí, you also use poner.
Y podemos usar colocar también.
Sí, we can use colocar, but it's more usual to hear poner. But we understand both words.
Okay.
James, why a la nevera and not en la nevera? Both options are correct, but as the previous answer, it's more common to hear a la nevera. But you can also say en la nevera, and there's no problem with that. It's also correct.
Johnny wants to know, well, how many verbs that you might use every day that do not have a regular conjugation? Don't know if she can answer that, but I'll let her try.
I'm not sure how many verbs, but there's, for example, the verb ser. Ser, it's an irregular verb. Soy, eres, the verb to be, but I don't know the exactly number about irregular verbs we use every day.
And Sam wants to know, is tengo miedo less common than yo temo?
No, it's more common to hear tengo miedo than yo temo, but for the exercise, I use the verb temer to learn how to conjugate, but it's more usual to hear tengo miedo. But tener, it's an irregular verb, so it changed. So that's why I don't use that verb for the example.
Any other questions? Anyone else have a question about tonight's topic? If so, type it in the Q&A. Any other questions? don't see anyone else typing any other questions. Someone just typed one. Okay, will a PowerPoint be available to review? Can we make that available?
Yeah.
Okay, you can send it to me and I'll turn it into a PDF for everyone to review.
Okay.
Yes, we have some more questions. Okay, George says, thank you very much for inviting him to the webinar. He enjoyed it and learned a lot.
You're welcome.
Gracias a ti. Any other questions? Anyone else have a question about tonight's topic or Spanish verbs in general? Okay,
Why do you use tener to? I don't
Just
understand.
It's a typo. Why do you use tener to say cold? To say, actually, I'm not sure. Can
Yeah.
you retype that, please?
Why do you use
Why do you use tener to say I'm cold
cold?
or
Tengo
he's cold,
frío.
she's cold? Mhm.
Mhm.
Because okay,
Yeah,
because in Spanish,
yeah, you
I'll
can
let you
answer.
answer. I'll let you answer.
No, you can answer this one because I don't have an explanation. I just, in Spanish, you use that way. Tengo frío, tienes frío.
Because in Spanish, you aren't cold. You have cold. You have heat. You're not hot. So you have to use the verb tener because you have cold as opposed to being cold. Same thing with hunger. You have hunger. So use tener hambre. Tengo hambre.
Mhm.
Moni wants to know how often are we going to have these classes? We're going to have these classes twice a month on the first and the third Wednesday of every month. So the next one is exactly 2 weeks from tonight, same time. Okay. B says that's strange. Well, it's strange because you're looking at it from the
From
viewpoint of a
English.
native English speaker. But if your native language was Spanish, you would find
For
it strange that
example,
someone is cold.
we say yo tengo 20 años. We don't, but in English is I am 20 years old. We use también the verb tener.
It's true. In English, we don't say we have X amount of years. We say we are.
But there's a problem for the Spanish speakers when they are learning English exactly because it's common to hear people say, I have 20 years.
As opposed to I am 20 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else with a question? Moni's. Okay, do you want to answer that? There is sentir.
Sentir.
Moni says there's no Spanish word for feel, but there is, and it's sentir. Sentir. For example, me siento bien. I feel well. And Moni said, okay, but tengo frío, not siento frío. That's correct.
Tengo frío.
You have cold. You don't feel cold in Spanish. That's how the Spanish language is.
Yeah.
And someone said in Spanish, then you're not old. You just have a lot of years.
That's a better way to say the
Yeah.
age.
Yeah. I never looked at it like that. Any other questions? Anonymous rule. I had to step away for a little, but when I was on, I did not see the vosotros in the practices. Is it used often? Well, we focus on Latin American Spanish. It's used often in Spain, but not in Latin America. That's why we didn't cover it. I think initially Paulina had included it in the PowerPoint, and I asked her to remove it because all of our customers want to learn Latin American Spanish,
Could be confused,
or
and
most of them.
it's not that common to use vosotros.
Unless you go to Spain.
The difference between vosotros and ustedes, vosotros it feels like more formal and more, it's the beginning of the Spanish language. They use a lot vosotros, but it doesn't use it. We don't use it anymore. It's less
It's
common
not
to
used.
hear it.
It's not used in Latin America. It's used in Spain, and we focus on Latin American Spanish. That's why we didn't cover it. But I believe vosotros is familiar, and ustedes is formal, if I'm not mistaken. But in any event, we don't teach European Spanish. We focus on Latin American Spanish. Okay. You're welcome. Nico says, feels like this is advanced Spanish. No, and Nico wants to know if he should still attend. You should still attend because it's not advanced Spanish. It's really basic conjugating ER verbs in the present tense. And you have nothing to lose. You're gonna learn either way. That's why I recommend that you come.
Yes.
And Johnny Davis has a question or statement. Vosotros is like the King James Version merged to Spanish. I guess you could look at it like that. How common is vos?
Depends of the city. For example, in Colombia, in Medellin, it's common to hear sometimes the boss, but we actually conjugated wrong. We use the conjugation of to using boss, but boss is common just in some city, some specific cities, not even in a country in specific. It's specific of a city.
Johnny wants to know, can you enable reactions? I guess I have to Google it and how to enable reactions on Zoom. Because right now I'm not sure. I don't even know if that feature is available on Zoom. Maybe it is, and I just didn't know about it. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions about tonight's topic or learning Spanish in general? Since we have some time left. Charlotte just asked, will you ever allow questions not pertaining to the specific night's lesson? We're doing it right now, Charlotte. So if you have any questions about learning Spanish, any topic at all, please let us know. And we'll answer. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks for the link. I'll see how to enable the how to enable that feature. Thanks so much. Any other questions? I have learning Spanish like crazy, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Is there any other courses you recommend? Yes, I'd recommend the audiobook, Learn Conversational Spanish Like a MF, because or even better yet, if you've already completed beginner, intermediate, and advanced, get the Learn. We have so many programs. Sometimes I forget the names of some of them, but it's the one on it's the one Learn Spanish While You Sleep or Learn Spanish While in Your Car. It's available on Amazon and Audible. That covers it has 50 hours of learning Spanish lessons, and it starts on a beginner level, but it takes you all the way to advanced, or at least intermediate/advanced. So I recommend that. Learn Spanish While You Sleep / Learn Spanish While Driving in Your Car. Johnny, de nada. Okay. Okay, Sam. Okay, yeah, Sam has Learn Spanish Like a MF. And Charlotte wants to know, Paulina, can you answer that for Charlotte?
The difference between de and desde. We could do a whole class about the difference between de and desde, because there's not a simple way to answer the difference, but yeah, both mean from in English.
Any other questions? Nico wants to know, I just want to congratulate you for the course. Oh, thank you very much, Nico.
Thank
Muchas
you.
gracias. It's really well structured, but of course it takes time to learn. That is correct. It takes time and effort. Okay. Hasta la próxima, Nico. Who else has a question? Any other questions? Estad versus said. When to use them. And that question is from V.
Yeah, start versus ser. It's also have a lot of topic on there, because there is like characteristics, time, origin, but start, we use it for locations, for feelings. So it's also a big topic and a big trouble, kind of, when there are people trying to learn Spanish. So I can't answer in a short answer to make it clear. It's complicated.
In a nutshell, the way I like to look at it is, estar is when you're talking about temporary situations, like I'm happy right now. But with that said, I always hear Spanish speakers say, soy feliz. And why is that, Paulina? Even when they're
Because
talking about right now, they
when
say soy feliz.
when you're happy every day, that's a specific characteristic of you that doesn't change, and so you say soy feliz because you are happy like every day. But if there's like a specific day, or there's a specific news that they give to you, I estoy feliz because of that. So estoy feliz, it's for something really specific, but soy feliz, it's something that it's a a characteristic of someone. But we use both.
Okay.
Soy feliz y estoy feliz.
Okay. And I like to think of estar for temporary situations. For example, estoy en Brasil. I'm temporarily in Brazil, but soy de Nueva York. I'll always be from New York. So that's the difference. After you said, when I talk about where I'm from, because it never changes. Where I'm from is where I'm from. But where I am, that can change. That can change tomorrow. So in a nutshell, estar is for temporary situations and said is for more permanent situations. Okay. Who wants to go? Who wants to give us a question? Okay. Any other questions? Still have a few minutes. So if you have any questions of learning Spanish questions at all, it doesn't have to be about conjugating Spanish verbs, whether it's on another topic or vocabulary or another area of Spanish grammar. Please post your questions. Any questions? This is going to be the last call. So if you have any questions, type them now. I'm not sure if I understand Martin's question. Best way to say last week. For me, the easiest way is la semana pasada.
Sí. La semana pasada.
Anyone else? Última semana.
It's more common la semana pasada.
Any other questions pertaining to vocabulary or Spanish grammar? Anyone? De nada, Martin. If you have any questions, you better type them now, because we're going to wrap it up. Okay, I guess that's it. I don't think we have any other questions for tonight. So in 2 weeks, we'll meet again, same time. And thanks everyone for coming. Muchas gracias por venir. Y hasta la próxima. Ciao.
Adiós.
Hey, just a reminder, if you'd like to attend a live Zoom webinar so that you can practice your Spanish in real time with our Spanish instructor, Paulina, to register for the live webinar, just go to learningspanishlikeCrazy.com/webinar. We have the live Zoom webinar twice a month on the first and third Wednesday evening of every month. No te lo pierdas. Don't miss out. To register to attend a live Zoom webinar, go to learningspanishlikeCrazy.com/webinar.